Yes, sir. What is going on, y'all? Happy Thursday to everybody. And welcome to the Coach Krug podcast / Krug's Corner. And fresh out of a workout, hair's kind of crazy right now. Got some laundry in the back, midweek craziness. But we're rocking it out. Wouldn't want it any other way. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and week thus far as well. And today we're going to be talking about comparison. And it's ironic, it's funny that I just got off the phone a couple hours ago recording our Friday discussion for this week with Mr. Adam Powers. And during that conversation, comparison came up just through some organic kind of back and forth conversation. And got some good stuff on there, so make sure you guys check that one out. But it gave me a good opportunity to get some ideas off my chest before I recorded this one today. So I'm already juiced up and ready to rock when it comes to that. So kind of two things I want to go off with this comparison thing as we rock this thing out today. So the first thing is this: when it comes to comparison, I think a lot of time we think about comparing ourselves to somebody else, something else, an external comparison where it's me versus another human being or something along those lines. And that can be fine, right? I do that every single day in some sort of capacity. I think a lot of us do in some sort of way as well. Doesn't matter if it's at work or, when we go play pickup basketball or, when it comes to rating podcasts. Like, comparison is just a natural way of life. It's something that is always going to be present, and it's always going to be a thing. So I really got to thinking this morning and thinking about comparison and the whole idea behind it and trying to link it back to kind of what I stand for. And in regards to me, I try to optimize myself every single day. I try to become the best version of myself every single day. And that's what I try to help others do as well. So when it comes to comparison, what I want to offer up first and foremost is this. When it comes to comparison, make sure that we are not comparing ourselves to somebody else's expectations, somebody else's standards, somebody else in regards to a lot of those different entities. But rather compare yourself to who you were yesterday, or maybe to who you were a month ago or a year ago, okay? Because I think that's going to put us in a much better headspace and just a much better place in life in general, right? Now, kind of to couple with that, there's always going to be some context that's involved, right? Our situations change. This is what Adam kind of brought up in the conversation, and it was a phenomenal angle where if I am comparing myself to who I was yesterday or a month ago or a year ago, situations change, experiences change. So on paper or objectively, I might not quote unquote be where I was then. But maybe I have a lot more on my plate now. I just had a baby, or I lost my job, or any other kind of things along those lines. And we have to be careful in that realm as well. But generally speaking, when it comes to comparison, I strongly urge, because I found success, because I've done both, and I've done both pretty consistently, is that compare yourself to who you were yesterday or the year before, a month before, or whatever, because that's going to put you in a much better spot. Because there's always going to be somebody else out there who's stronger, who's smarter, who's better looking. And if we're constantly kind of looking towards those things for affirmation, yeah, we might win sometimes, but there's a lot that's out of our control when it comes to those types of comparisons, okay? We can control our inputs. We can control our mindsets. We can control us at all times. So when it comes to finding betterment, let's compare ourselves to those inputs and make sure we're trying to get better in that way. Okay, so compare yourself to yourself versus somebody else to better optimize yourself is the first point that I wanted to drive home today. All right, then secondly, kind of coming with a quote from Marcus Aurelius, kind of subquoting this thing, so I hope I get it right. But the general idea is this: the happiness of your life, not anybody else's, the happiness of your life is solely dependent on the quality of your thoughts. The happiness of your life is dependent on the quality of your thoughts, right? And vocabulary is so cool. One word usage, noun usage, verb, it can kind of change the whole perspective on a sentence or a saying or idea. So what he says, again, is powerful. Really think about this. Your thoughts, your happiness, everything is on your shoulders when it comes to that stuff. So kind of stemming that back to comparison. If I'm comparing myself to who I was yesterday, wants to look like in my life, okay? And depending on what that happiness or what I want that happiness to look like, I can therefore control the quality of my thoughts to achieve that, and I'm going to be in a much better spot. But if I let somebody else dictate my own happiness and my own thoughts, There's not going to be my happiness or my thoughts anymore. It's somebody else's. So we have to take the time to sit down and think about, what does happiness look like in my life? Where are my thoughts? Where is my mindset? Where are my actions going? That is what I can control, and that is what I can do to better myself, not only in the happiness realm, I would argue, but our overall well-being. Okay? So again, the happiness of our lives is solely dependent on the quality of our thoughts. Sit down. What does happiness look like for me, and how can I go about better changing my thoughts and my ideas and my perspectives and my mindsets to achieve that stuff? And I think if we can make that happen, then a lot of good is going to come out of that as a result. Okay, so again, the 2 points to kind of sum things up: compare yourself to yourself to better optimize yourself. Be loving towards yourself. It's okay if you slip up. It's okay if you fall down sometimes. Get yourself back up and keep moving, because the person you are meant to become is out there in the distance. So go chase that. Don't chase anybody else. And secondly, focus on the quality of your thoughts, because that is going to dictate your own happiness, and you have to define that for yourself. And if you can do that, we will be off and running. We are going to be in a great spot, and let's make that happen throughout today and the rest of the week, and maybe the rest of our lives. Okay, so y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. If you're viewing this in the morning, rest of your day, evening, have a great night, what have you, or whenever you're watching this thing, make it a great one. It's on you. You can control that stuff and the stuff that you are putting in your own head. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the Friday discussion with Adam, bringing that heat. Got some phenomenal perspectives coming your way, so can't wait for that one too. So y'all have a great one. Appreciate you guys. God bless. Coach Coop.